Hey guys, Bellatrix Pretzel here, and thank you for joining me for yet another speed build. So this one is bricked in. Has anyone else noticed that my names for these speed builds are getting worse and worse? No, just me? It's definitely not just me. Alright, so I started this build on a 15 by 20 lot, and I realized that it was just too small to work with. Ideally, I would have loved to have, well, in my head, ideally, I thought that I would have loved to have a 15 by 30 lot, just have it like a little bit longer, which I don't think they have in The Sims 4. So I ended up moving it to a 30 by 20 lot, and I actually really like how it turned out. It was actually the perfect size. So, yeah. The total of the house came out to 119,861 simoleons. And it is a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. Yeah, so there you go. I'm just working on the exterior, the main shape of the house. It more or less stays like this after I move it. I just sort of, I moved it mostly to expand the backyard because as you see, it's tiny and non-existent. But I do add a couple more details to the front and the sides just to make it look a little bit more dynamic and less flat and boring. So the layout of the top floor stays the same, but the ground floor pretty much completely changes because once I add the little like nooks and crannies that I want to add to make the house look extremely nice, the floor plan just didn't make sense in my head anymore. So we do change that once we get to the bigger lot. But yeah, just putting in some windows. I think this is the first time in a build that I actually don't do white windows. I know I have in the past done windows that were a different color than white, but I usually just like end up switching back to it. Oh no, actually I think there was a modern build. I think it was like Modern Utopia or something that actually had black windows. I'm not sure. But anyways, I usually put white windows everywhere. It's usually my thing. And I don't use brick very often. I'm not a fan of how it looks for the most part, but it really worked for this house. Yeah, alright, so here we go. I moved to a bigger lot. I recentered the house, adding the stairs because apparently they disappeared in the back. Yeah, so here we go. I was gonna, center it and it was gonna look really cool, and then I was like, wait a second, there's a room separation. I'm not gonna like furnishing it with that in the middle and like split between two rooms, so moved it off to the side, and I actually prefer how it looks than when it was centered. And then I'm adding a little bay window area thing right at the front there. Yeah, I really hate roofing bay windows, like, because the diagonal roofs honestly kind of suck, and I don't know, I just hate roofing them. I find that it never actually looks good. Yeah, alright, so now we actually have a nice large backyard. I actually have a hard time when it comes to decorating the backyard. I did not know what to do. It's just because I hadn't expected to work on a house with a backyard this big. How I started going into this house, my thinking process was, alright, I want a cute family home, maybe like a 2-bedroom. I do kind of like the idea of arches on the back porch. And I want it to be around 40 to 50,000 simoleons. Well, here we are 119,000 simoleons later on a bigger lot. So pretty much the only thing that stayed true to my original idea of it was the arches on the back porch. Literally the only thing. It ends up being a 3-bedroom, which adds so much more to the expense. It's definitely it's, because you have to add another bed, another dresser, another, more mirrors, more desks, whatever. Like, it just adds to the cost. And anyways, I was like, I was building it, I think I'd moved it to the new lot, and I was talking to my boyfriend, and I was like, yeah, this was originally going to be a $40,000 build, and he was like, and what are you at now? And, I checked it out, and I was like, oh, look at that, I'm already at 26,000, and there's, like, no furnishing done. Whoops. Anyways, here we go. I ended up actually doing the same wallpaper for every single room. I haven't done that in most of my builds, but in my head it's more realistic to have them all the same color. Maybe that's just because of where I grew up. In my parents' house, literally every single room other than the bathroom was the same, just plain white paint. Yeah, it was just, in my head it makes sense that every room should be the same. Maybe, maybe switch it up for the bedrooms, but I don't know. Usually I just sort of color coordinate the walls to what the furnishings are like, but this time I was like, no, you know what, I'm just gonna have wooden borders and white walls. It works with everything. And it fit with the theme of the house, the color theme of the outside, sort of. Yeah, anyways. I'm working on the master bedroom right there, and I'm 90% sure that you can still use both places on that bed, even when it's stuck to the wall. If not, I am very sorry. I didn't test it out. I know I should test it out. Usually I don't do things that are crazy enough in placement wise that they require to be tested. So I don't have the habit of it. And I usually just go on the aesthetically pleasing side, and then sometimes I throw in real world logic in there. Yeah, anyways, trying to pick lightings for that. I didn't want to use the same wall lightings that I normally use, but I stuck with them. I was like, you know what, nothing else is working for this bedroom. Yeah, so for this bedroom right here, in my head it's a teenager that has this bedroom. I surprised myself by how much stuff I was actually able to fit in there. So I didn't want that, tall single space desk in front of the mirror, and I didn't want it stuck to the bed, so I ended up just putting a dining room table there, computer, and then another one where I have a TV, so, she can watch TV in bed. Why not? She has a guitar, she has a backpack, yeah, I actually really like that bookcase. I hate that it's empty, but this time it really worked to what I want it to be. Yeah, so the teen that lives in this bedroom, probably plays guitar or had played it in the past and just never got rid of it. And based on those posters, that Sims loves video games. I just thought they looked good. I didn't know what else to put to decorate the walls. So here we go. I'm in the curtain section. I was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's put curtains. Yeah, I ended up deleting them all. I hated it. I couldn't get behind it. I was like, no, this looks stupid. I don't want them. So yeah, it's another curtainless house. One day I'll make another build with curtains. So I'll have a total of like 2 builds with curtains in my speed build video library thing, whatever. Yeah, alright, so here we go, kid genius room. So yeah, it's a kid, they're really into science, they're very smart. That's all I had going for them. I was originally going to make it a jock's bedroom, like a kid who was really, really into sports, and when they became a teenager, they'd continue being into sports, and as an adult, they'd go into the athletic career. But then I was like, you know what? I want them to be a scientist. That'd be kind of cool. Make them a little bit of a nerd. Yeah. So for this bathroom, I wanted to put in a shower, but because of how the freaking windows I had there, it didn't really work. And I hate blocking windows with the shower. Sometimes I do it, but I try to avoid it. And this time I just really, really did not want to. So they get a bath. Whoops. Yeah. And then just working on that tiny landing. Picture frames in the walls on the stairs. I've seen people do that. I think it's really cool when they have that. So yeah, it's just what I did. I was trying to sneak in a shower there, even deleted a door, and I was like, nah, I don't like this layout at all, and I kept the 2-door layout for that bathroom. So yeah, and, it's a powder room. It's small. They didn't really need a shower there. Yeah, just trying to get the correct angles to get that like hand towel in. Okay, anyways, this little study library room area. I mess around so much with the decor, like I was not satisfied. I didn't know what to do for it, and everything I did just looked horrible. I keep that little table in there for way too long. I do delete it in the end, but just looking at it now, I'm like, it looks horrible. Why did I try so hard to make it work? Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to make it very like earthy and planty and have lots of flowers and stuff all over that room, but it it didn't really work for me in the end. I was like, you know what, no, I can't find a way to make it work, so I just kept the two little plant things on the side of the love seat, and then throw in a rug, and that was about it. You know, wall decorations, paintings here and there, just to spruce it up. Yeah, alright, so here we go, working on the kitchen. The kitchen does not stay there. I cannot, for the life of me, fit a dining room table with chairs comfortably in there, so I move it around, and yeah. I mean, it was a cool layout for the kitchen. I really liked it, but because I couldn't fit a dining room table in there, I moved it around. I was still happy with how it turned out. I just really liked what I did for the layout of the kitchen. I don't know why, but I did. Yeah, anyways. So there we go, working on that kitchen, and I have the dining room table there. Okay, so here we go. I switched to, the Sims camera 3 mode, so the Sims 3 camera mode, so that I can, angle it any way I want. And I was like, this isn't working. Why isn't it working? And I realized, watching it back, I think that I forgot to press Alt while I was doing it, so it wouldn't work. And I just went with the angled that way table, and it actually, it ended up working. It fit nicely into the room. It didn't look too awkward, and I put a plant behind there. So, I'm happy with my mistake. It was a good mistake. Yeah. Alright, living room time. So, I was not sure how I was going to do the layout of the living room here originally, and then I remembered I can angle objects. I can have them on a diagonal, and that just saved my day, because if the TV was just plopped straight, it would have just never worked for me. I would have been fuming. But thankfully, you can actually angle your TVs, and I was like, score, this works. People on either seat can see. Yeah, and then that little square area, I just throw in an easel and a little tree for, your gardening skill. Yeah. I don't know why, but I am currently out of breath. I'm sitting, and apparently talking has now just put me out of breath. Whatever, lungs, whatever. You do you. Yeah, so once again, just finding some paintings to put on the wall. I just really picked anything, to be honest. I just wanted to fill that space up. Yeah, and then just, working on the entry, putting, a mirror, whatever. Just, I kept it basic, and then I was like, it makes no sense to have a separation there. So I just, cut it down, put that chandelier in the middle, and put a little carpet running down the entire thing. Okay, so here we go. The balcony, which is also technically a room. I sort of made a wraparound seating there with ottomans. I don't know what inspired it, but I think it actually looked really good. Yeah, and then, picnic tables so that you can eat your barbecued food. I absolutely love the look of the archways here. Like, I want to do this for every single one of my builds. I won't, but I kind of really want to. Whoops. Anyways, getting little decorations. By this time it was like, I don't know, I was working on this at maybe 9 or 10 at night. I was exhausted because I'd woken up at 6 a.m., which is very, very early for me. So I was just sort of like, nope, done. And I finished this morning because I couldn't. I say this morning, and by this morning I mean the Friday before posting this video on a Monday. Like, I post this video on a Monday, but I'm recording this on a Friday, so when I say this morning, I mean this Friday. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, like I said, I did not know what the heck to do for the backyard. I play around with it a lot, and I'm just like, I'm looking back and I'm like, why did I think that would be a good idea? I mean, I saw it and I was like, nope, this is horrible, but, planning it in my head, I'm like, why? Why would you think that'd be a good idea? That looks absolutely horrible. Yeah, so I decided to just leave it very grassy and just put a bunch of plants in there and make certain sections look very, very busy. I think it worked out. I like how it turned out. Honestly, I had very low expectations for this backyard, so I exceeded my expectations for it. Yeah, so I'm just filling this other section up with plants. Whenever I make gardens on The Sims, I think you know, I internally think, like, how the heck is anyone gonna water these plants? Because, you know, you're supposed to get it into the ground. You want to avoid putting water on the leaves, because when the sun's blaring, it'll, you know, there's a chance that the leaf will actually catch fire if you put water on there. So I'm just looking at that, I'm like, I mean, you could pour water from above, but it'll get all over the leaves and all over the petals, and, you know, it's not really good for the plants. But anyways, it's a Sim, so who cares, right? So yeah, putting a couple of potting plants in there, and then I'm like, you know what? For these on the balcony, they're not actually going to plant, like, grapes or whatever. They're just going to put flowers in there and fill it up. Use it as decoration more than anything. Yeah, just throwing in a couple of more benches, and oh my god, I'm, like, seriously out of breath. This is so sad. Yeah. It's just a lot of landscaping that's left. I do end up putting a car, because I was like, no, I don't want to deal with with deciding what to put in that corner. I didn't want to deal with having a, like, flower patch in there. So, out of laziness, I added a car. Which, I mean, it works, because it is a family home. You know, you need a car to get your kids to soccer practice, or whatever kids do these days. I don't know what kids do these days. Yeah, just, you know, hedges, filling it up, making it look a little less boring. Honestly, I got lazy at this point. I was like, I don't want to use the same plants over and over again, like, throughout this entire lot. So just put hedges everywhere. And then I'm like, you know what? Put the, you know, flowers that climb up walls. It just adds a little bit of interest to it. You know, makes it look a little bit less boring. Yeah. Alright, so I think I just add some lights. Oh yeah, terrain paint. I'm going to add a garbage. And then I add lights, and then we're getting into the screenshots. It's really just details right now that I'm just, like, finishing up, polishing up the lot. Oh, so this is my second build in a row that I don't forget to tile or paint something, and I'm so happy. Yeah, anyways, here are the screenshots. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like always, there will be a link to where you can download this house in the description below, as well as my Facebook page and my second channel. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe so you know when my next video is up. I do post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but the time of day varies. What else can I say for the remaining few seconds so that you guys don't sit in awkward silence? I guess this is really just filling it up. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I apologize for my incessant chatter.